All right, today I want to go over two things. One of them being the planning for our last assignment, last big assignment, which is going to be our social awareness animation. Um, the schedule for the rest of the semester, that's not it. We don't need to worry about that. Today is the 11th. I'm going to start the UI animation. It shouldn't take 2 weeks, but we're going to have 2 weeks on it, okay? So by the 23rd, that one should be in. The social awareness one will take us another 2 weeks to do, okay? But we'll have like 3 weeks to actually do that one. So the first planning stage will be due on Saturday, so you can just email me the first planning stage. And then this week you should be building your assets for it. And then the rest of the time is just animating those pieces. Okay, it's a pretty straightforward type of animation. It doesn't have to be crazy complex. It shouldn't be complex because of how much time we have on it. But that's the timeline for those other ones. We'll also have a demo reel due, which is basically we're just putting all of our pieces into one video. And then we'll have an exam also, where you'll come in one day, here's the assignment, and you'll work the entire class on building an animation. Okay. It'll be the Monday before we're done. That way, in case we get a snow day, we can push it. Okay. But otherwise, we'll be right there. Yes, sir.
So the UI animation is due on Saturday the 23rd.
Correct.
But the planning, but you said the planning for the social issue animation is due on the weekend, or?
It's due on the 16th. You just have to email it to me. It's just gonna be text.
Okay, so I just basically have to write down some text and then email it to you.
Yep.
Okay.
That'll be by Saturday, but it's a pretty straightforward type of setup. There's not a whole lot of creativity really needed at this point.
So how long is it going to be? Like a paragraph?
No, you'll see. Yeah. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating an animation to explain a social awareness issue. So your first step is to find 3 social awareness issues. And if you don't know where to find them, you can go to Google and type in social awareness issues, and this is one of the sites that comes up when you type that in. And here's different things: torture victims, drinking and driving. That one is Animal Wildlife Federation. Your skin color shouldn't dictate the future. Deforestation, on hate. Speeding. Okay, so these are all just different topics is all we're looking at right here. Okay, so once you've found 3 topics that you want to talk about, then you're going to grab 5 facts for each one of these. If you can't find 5 facts, find a different topic. You should be able to do that. Okay, now these should be concise statements. So if, let's say I'm doing drunk driving, I want to make people aware that drunk driving is a bad thing, or texting while driving is a bad thing, then I can go out here and type in drunk driving statistics. Go there and get statistics about those specific things. If you find something with numbers, those are easier to animate because it's visual, right? So if I wrote the number 31, that's an incredibly visual thing to see the number 31 and have an animation playing with something dealing with 31 versus a big long paragraph about something happening. We have 30 seconds for this animation. That's how long this thing is going to be. So we have to fit in 3 of our 5 facts into that. So in 2016, 10,497 people died in alcohol-impaired driving crashes, accounting for 28% of all traffic-related deaths in the United States. That's way too long to try to fit into a 30-second animation. For me to just read that is like 10 seconds, okay? And for us to be able to give them the subject, go into what the statement is, and then go on to the next one nicely and easily, we have to allow time for all of that stuff to process. So with this one statement, maybe I would say 28% of all traffic-related deaths in the United States, right? So I would just put that. So I would say drunk driving in 2016, 28% of all traffic-related deaths. Alcohol was the cause. Now, I'm going to eventually shape this and customize it and wordsmith this to get it to look nice and sound nice when we put it into our video. But that's my fact, okay? That's a short statement, very specific about drunk driving. I think it said in the U.S. Deaths. I put cause. No one caught it or no one cared in the U.S. All right, so maybe I would reword this. Alcohol caused 20% of all traffic-related deaths in the U.S. Yes, sir.
Do we also have to give like citations on where we found this information?
Save the citation stuff. We don't need to put it in our video, but do save that.
So we have to make citations for the page?
No, this is just for you in case later on you want to come back and actually make this into a full piece. This is going to be a mini social awareness piece. This could go into something bigger. Then you'd want to have the citation stuff. More than 1 million drivers are arrested for driving under the influence. Okay, some of these maybe it wouldn't be a viable point or something that you really want to talk about. Like, why is drunk driving bad? Well, because 1 million people were arrested for driving under the influence. Well, obviously, drunk driving is bad, but people getting arrested for it, maybe that's not something you want to focus on. Maybe you want to focus on other things. Risk factors, let's see. At all levels, alcohol blood among drivers, BSC. There you go. So here's another one. Among motorcyclists killed in fatal crash in 2016, 20% had blood alcohol levels of 0.8. So something like motorcyclist. Okay, so for each one of my social awareness topics, I will have 3 of them. I'm going to find 5 short, concise facts about that topic. Okay, so drunk driving is one. Maybe another one is dangers of social media. And then maybe the other one is not getting an education. Okay. 5 facts for each one of these.
So it's 3 and then we got to do 5 facts on each.
Correct. Now what's going to happen is you're going to turn in, this is just an email, a text document, however you want to send it to me by Saturday, these things. I'm going to read through, make sure that everyone's stuff is good, and then if I find one of these is a stronger candidate for animation, I'm going to recommend this is the one that I would say you should do. And then you'll go and start developing all the assets for that one piece. So as our example, let's say that out of all the ones that I've turned in, the drunk driving one has the most obvious way to animate something, or the easiest way to animate something. Or let's say it's something that hasn't been brought up a lot. Sometimes I'll find a topic that people haven't talked about. The information may not be as strong as some of the other stuff, but I think that the topic itself might be more worthwhile than some of the other ones you've chosen, okay? I may pick that one. So then you'll go and you'll start developing the assets for all of this stuff. So when it says alcohol caused 28% of all traffic-related deaths in the U.S., well, now I need to go and get a graphic or create a graphic that would show this kind of thing that I would then animate eventually. And then I have one for motorcyclists, 25% had BAC of 0.8 or greater. I would create a graphic for that one as well, okay? Eventually, these will have to flow from one to the next to the next, so that will be another task of how do we get things to flow from one to the other. Hopefully, the UI animation I'm going to go over today will help you understand how we're able to flow from one piece to the next to the next. Yes, sir?
So do we have to find one graphic or image for all 15 facts?
Mm-mm.
Just only the
Only the ones we're going to do.
Okay, so that part isn't due on Saturday?
Correct.
Okay,
That
so
part will be due when we start. Well, when we do, but you need it to start the assignment, to start actually animating it.
So just a reminder, it's only the text that's due on Saturday. I'm sorry, I'm just confused.
No, you're good. Yep. So it's just the text, okay? And that's just so you don't go into trying to create 15 different graphics when we're not going to use 12 of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the end assignment, we will have only 3 of these facts fit into this 30 seconds. But if your facts are shorter, you might be able to fit in a 4th one. Or you decide, okay, now that I have these 3 in there, I really want to expand this and make this a full-blown social awareness piece, make it a minute long and fit all 5, maybe add a 6th fact inside there, okay? So each one of these I'll have to have some kind of graphic for, and then I will flow from one piece to the next, okay? At this point in this assignment that we're going to go over today and this final assignment, it's going to be a lot of overview, and I'm not going to get into the specifics of it because the specifics we've already talked about. Okay, we've already discussed how to animate things, how to create transitions from page to page, how to rig things if we needed to, how to tell the story. So at this point, it's just applying those concepts we've already learned to these last 2 assignments. Okay? Questions on what you need for Saturday? No? Okay. The last thing you'll need on your thing for each one of these is a call to action. Okay? So here's the topic. I want you to be aware of drunk driving. Here are some facts about drunk driving. And then what can you do after? Someone who's viewing this, get more information at a website. Or call this number if you suspect it. Or the next time you're drinking, don't drive. Something at the end of it. Okay? So 5 facts and then a call to action. And that's for each one of these. And again, if you can't find 5 facts, don't use it. If you can't find a call to action, don't use it. You should be able to for every one of these topics. But, like I said, don't worry about it too much. All right, any questions on it? All right.
Wait, so do we choose one of the 3?
Eventually, you'll choose one of the 3.
Oh, okay, because I was wondering, wait, we just seen 1.
Right. No. Yeah. Well, you're giving 3 so that I can look through these different sources, and then from all the stuff, I'll say this is the most, the best one to choose.
Oh.
Okay. Or maybe all 3 are good, and I say it's up to you, whichever one you feel most strongly about.
Oh.
Okay. Let me save mine. Just on the desktop. So the next week I'll go over the creating the artwork for it. Cool. Questions on it yet?